They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flow, chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yeah, good evening, YouTube. It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is. But basically, for the people that's new to the channel, hopefully you like the content. If you like my content, understand that it's not necessarily going to always be about politics. I tend to be all over the place, but that's mostly due to the fact that none of it is scripted. I kind of just let it flow, and where it goes, it goes. I try to be as articulate as I can when it comes to certain subjects, but there's certain things that are beyond me as far as vocabulary wise. But with that being said, if you like my content, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, and understand that it may be all over the place at times, but hopefully you continue to rock with me, or hopefully you do rock with me. And for the people that have been rocking with me since day one, it's all love. Hopefully you continue to rock with me and understand that on this journey it might be some bumps in the roads, but I'm officially back. The only reason I haven't really been putting nothing up is because everything I put up tends to get taken down because due to the content. I don't know if they consider it inflammatory. Can't say it's bullying. It's just mostly pointing out key points that people really need to pay attention to. And one being, as you can see the title, when I'm talking about the next World War, which will be 3, and the fact that it's not even if, it's more when. And I don't know if you've really been paying attention, but we had a foreign prime minister come from Iran like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and make the boldest statement in the world. He said that, and I quote, that if the genocide continues in Gaza, the U.S. will not go unscathed, meaning that we gonna get it too. That's just in layman's term for the people that may not understand it. We're gonna get it too. So if we continue to back Israel, which we will, due to the fact that there's multiple reasons why that happens. I mean, it could be the fact that we don't own the U.S. dollar and we know who it's owned by, and the fact that we've always supported them and the things, which is funny because at one time we called them communists and would actively hunt them down. Some fools never to be seen again, allegedly. But now we hold them as high as the savior. I don't know if it's because the U.S. is a really religious country, or just so many people from a particular group have got into a level of power and they feel that they can do what they want. I mean, we already know what the false narrative is and who assumes that they will be the higher echelon. I mean, Israel was basically supported by the Rothschilds. They literally bought the land. They didn't, but I'm going to just get off that. But, like I said, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm basically talking out my anal when I'm talking about this the prospect of war and the fact that it's literally at our door and people should really prepare for it, because people are, the U.S., they came to a conclusion a long time ago after the Civil War that there will never be another war fought on the U.S. soil, but you cannot predict that. Maybe not a war, but nobody's really paying attention to the fact you have all these immigrants coming from multiple countries, not Mexico, because you can't really be an immigrant when California and everything was pretty much yours, but, people coming from different, like, Muslim countries that are military age. You got people coming from other countries that would be considered hostile towards the U.S. And it's not necessarily pointing anybody out, which, I mean, it's not to be a bigot, but it's just, you're of military age. And then even China, like, you see they busted that one spot in New York they were secretly had their whole little operation set up, and it was all police. Like, they were all Chinese police operating out of New York, which was funny that it went up under the radar, which it didn't. Eyes have probably always been on them. But before I even get way away from what I want to talk about, but I just, wanted to back up the reason why I put the title the way I did. It's true. It's like, because even after he made them that inflammatory statement, they essentially backed it up, because they essentially hit 14 spots, all U.S., I won't say owned, but, it is basically U.S. spots. And I don't know if it was in Syria. I had to really look at it, but I know uh after that, Biden grabbed this little satchel just slightly and said that, just warned them, like, be careful. Which in turn they did nothing after that. But when Iran attacked a few more spots and took it from 14 strikes to 20, then the U.S. came with a response, and then they hit key spots in Syria that were Iranian. How should I say? Um, Man, the words like right there on my tongue, but basically something that belongs to them. They hit that, you know what I mean? And from what I've heard, there's been a few other strikes that the U.S., went over there and did what they did. And I mean, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, there's only so many, tit for tats that people will take. Eventually, it's gonna be full out war, and then people are so unbothered by the fact. I mean, outside of the humanitarians and people that are witnessing the atrocities going on in Gaza right now, but the people that just feel comfortable that oh, we're over here in the U.S., it's not gonna touch us. Well, they still. I know people and family members that are stationed right now, waiting to deploy. They're just waiting to get these orders. So you're gonna tell me that Iranians, the government in Iran has struck multiple spots that are U.S. interests, soldiers being hurt, and you're going to tell me there's going to be no war over that? Come on. The U.S. may be weak due to the fact of who they got as their commander-in-chief, but at the end of the day, we all know when it comes down to it, this country is basically built for war. It's always been that. That's why there's more focus on military than anything else. And then you got people that are patriots that will throw their life away without any second thought, like really believe in everything about this country. I myself am a U.S. patriot. Like, I love the country. Like, it's just, and I love the fact of certain things that it stands for. There's certain things that I'm not necessarily with because just the weak aspects of the U.S. But for the most part, I'm a U.S. patriot. People know what I vote, so whatever. I digress on that, but like, this is just to support the title. So after all that, and then you have Israel constantly doing what they're doing on the Gaza Strip and literally trying to eradicate the Palestinians. I just watched the video today where the Prime Minister of Israel said, like, you don't hit them once or twice, you hit them like 7 times and hard. Then you got other people with the same rhetoric speaking on everything. They're like, they're animals. Kill their mothers, their kids, and everything else. Like, wipe them off the map. It's no secret what they want. They want Palestine to be Israel, period, and nothing else. But I don't know if other countries are gonna sit by and take that. You had, what was it, Libya or Lebanon, had made a threat. Like, if this continued to happen, exactly, they're gonna be knocking at the door. And from what I hear, there's other Islamic states that are taking up arms against Israel. So it's like, and then that in turn drags the U.S. into it, which is funny. And the whole reason I know I'm all around it's late and it's hard to articulate, especially with my allergies the way they are, and I'm just tired. But that's life. But I mean, you got all these Islamic countries letting it be known, like, if you continue to do what you do and atrocities is taking place. And I've seen multiple images of little kids being taken out of different spots unalive, and they're young, and people are up in arms about it. So if we're up in arms about it, you just imagine these countries that, these are their brothers, and essentially their sisters and mothers, and they all represent one thing at the end of the day. But if you think that my title is reaching, then you're not paying attention. Iran striking key spots that are U.S. interest. U.S. finally responds and strikes in Syria, key spots that are, you know what I mean? And you don't think it's just gonna go like that? Like, we're dealing with military powers. Like, of course, U.S. is far more superior than their country, but then you have Russia. because the U.S. decided to put their nose in with Ukraine, and now we're fighting multiple wars. You think it's not gonna happen, but I mean, just do the math on it. Okay, so we got Iran doing their thing. We're doing it back to them. Israelis constantly pushing the Palestinians out, doing what atrocities they do. They even made a law right now that if you're a Christian, like, and you're preaching or talking about anything that has to do with Christianity in Israel, you can go to prison. They just forced that law. But I know there's a difference between the Zionist and Jewish. You know what I mean? It's like, it's about the same as far right and right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's two sides of the same coin. Essentially. It depends on what the way you think. Because, you know, there's, even out here, you have the far right extremists, and then you just got the right, the conservative party. Same with the liberals and the far left. You know what I mean? It's like, but I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. Like, if you can't watch the news and see the things that are going on and think that there's no possibility of that next major war coming, then you're either blind or you're just scared to see it. But all signs point towards that. You got people right now stocking up, that's what I would tell people: stock up, man. Be ready. Because at the end of the day, it's not, that war is not going to be just contained in the Middle East. It's coming here. You have people here that are upset. Dude, have you not paid attention to the fact you had you had Jewish people protesting about the war in support of Israel taking out Palestine, and they've got killed, or they've got unalived. And there's been multiple situations of clashing. You got other reporters and people that are in social media pushing for Jewish people to arm themselves and essentially take to the streets and do what they need to do, which that only inflames other people. So you know what I'm saying? But then I got to also point out the fact that they got Jewish people marching and basically saying that those are Zionists that occupy Israel, and they're a hard, you know what I mean? And we're not them. We're Jewish, but we're not them. I'm not here to separate. At the end of the day, I'm just here to tell you, like, you need to prepare. And if you choose to see my video and be like, this guy, he's not very articulate, he don't know what he's talking about, just lay down. Like, yeah, I am going to lay down after this, but I just wanted to put that out. And hopefully this another video that don't get taken down. Try not to be as critical of Israel, because at the end of the day, I have nothing against them. I just know that there's certain things that are happening that shouldn't happen. But and then you got to think, they're dragging our family members into their war. We have nothing to do with that, but they're dragging us into it. So when you got nieces and nephews and cousins and brothers and fathers that end up dead because of this war, yeah, it's crazy, because it's like what the whites called the war with Hitler. They said that it was the biggest loss of white lives, and it's coming again, but this time it's gonna be loss of every life: black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Chicano, gangster, whatever. They ain't got no record. Because if it comes to the street, who you think is going to be engaging them? It's going to be street dudes and people that may not necessarily know how to shoot, but they're shooting because they need to protect their property. Yeah. But that's one thing. That's all I want to say. For the people that pay attention to my channel, man, I'm sorry I wasn't as articulate. I might even do this video over. Maybe I'll make more sense. I had key points that I pointed out, but the whole thing is YouTube continues to take these videos or block them. I don't even really monetize them. I haven't monetized the last 4 or 5 videos, but pay attention, man, and prepare. Like, prepare. With that being said, I'm your boy Zod, and I'll be back. Don't mind the pantry or the blinds with the... Whew, I'm so tired. Kids. Anyway, you enjoy the rest of your night, and I'm out.
Kneel before Zod!